proper guidance or supervision as well, then there is the danger of wrong repetition. And when you repeat things wrong, if you repeat something that you think you learned right, you repeat that 5 times, now you need to do 15 times, 5 to undo the 5 wrong, and another 10 to make it safely there registered in your brain, right? So therefore, one of the great obstacles is wrong repetition, which comes because of the misconception of thinking that you got it and you actually maybe not. That's why all the homeworks of my students are there in unlisted videos. Because that way I can see and they can see, which is more important, because all the process of learning is not about the teacher, it's about you. The process of learning is not about the teacher or the method, it's about how you will learn it. What we need to find out here is how you will get interested, getting the knowledge, and how you will assimilate this knowledge, how you get interested into this thing, because unless you're interested, you cannot learn it. If you're bored, suppose someone is boring, trying to learn something, bored to death, and tries to practice, like how people many times go to the school or to the conservatory, that way. I see them all the time. They are bored like anything. They go just because they need the paper maybe to get. But the reality, and even good musicians and talented people have to do it sometimes, I don't think it's otherwise, but the thing is that if you really clear these misconceptions and these doubts, the doubts make you weak, actually, and it comes to this doubting thing is bad, because it makes you indecisive. You don't have projection also in performance. Imagine an actor that is not convinced of what he's saying. I remember in the school a long time ago when we were children, and some had to start having some girlfriends there like this around. So there was one very ugly guy who all the time got the nice girls. Why? Well, we tried to find out, and in fact we noticed that this guy said, "Today you come with me to the cinema," or something. But he was so determined that the girls didn't have no choice but to accept his proposal, because he was very convincing. He was convinced that he would get it, right? And this, look at this guy, it's possible. Yeah, because he has this quality. So just to say that anyone who is convinced of something, that generates some power. And then similarly, if we have doubts, then of course that makes you weak. It makes you weak in your performance, and it also will make you weak in your practice, because you will not have really interest. Like one guy just came a week ago or something from the conservatory here in Spain and said, "I don't know why I'm playing the same thing like 2 years ago." I said, tell the teacher that I want to do more difficult stuff, more challenging things, etc., to improve my technique. And he said, "Yeah, I did it, but they said that this is okay," like that. Because of course they would give an onion about this, right? These guys, they don't care if the student is learning. Here, this is the other problem. We have to also have the right person to convey the information, because remember, this process is not about getting external data and then you assimilate it, but it's how you will take out your own thing through processing external data. And therefore, here the role of the teacher is also key. It has to be someone that really wants to teach, not a bureaucratic fellow there, right? But of course, for several reasons, because people sometimes don't want music or want something related to that, like, branding himself. For example, I don't know, if someone goes and study music in Juilliard, then more than when he will give his resume for getting a job, let's say, or something, more than how he plays or how efficient he is in music, really, the person reading this resume will see the name, the big name, the sounding name, Juilliard, studied in Juilliard, right? And then therefore this guy had to pay his price in money and in effort and in blood to get this damn paper there so that he can do that, because he maybe wants to get a job, I don't know, in a university or in a formal institution that requires such papers to function. So therefore, if he wants to have that, and that was his goal, then that he's successful. That's okay. But if you want to be a musician, indeed, or if you want both things, you have to take action towards both goals and see how one will not interfere with the other. Otherwise, this doubting, which is mainly also don't know what you want, really speaking, because remember, the teacher, what will teach you is something about you that you didn't know before. The teacher doesn't want to teach something impersonal. Ideally, the teacher should teach you something about you that you didn't know before. That's how I see it happen. In my case with Paco, this happened like this. Because I discover who I am through these teachings. Right? So this is a real teacher. Right? And then therefore, but it's not maybe not formal, because I never studied in a school formally. He never gives lessons that way. But I have many years of association, direct contact association for years, and so many hours and many days, etc., that I could ask questions and see things and I learn from there. And because the learning, the spirit was there, one has to be eager. I was very interested in learning this. And why? Because I didn't have any doubt about him. So if you doubt also your teacher, then how you will learn? You need to clear doubts. Doubts are another big obstacle there. And therefore, the people they go on for years like that. Just last month, another person came and said, from England, and said, I have, I have been like 10 years doubting if I should play this repertory or also of classical romantic music, or I should better make a band. I am actually on the CC because I also play electric guitar, but I also like the rock, so therefore it's draining all his energy into different things. He doesn't know what to do, really. So first you have to be sincere and decide and get your goal clear. Then once you get that, then you have to see who is the person that can bring me to that. This is our goal. And then go for it. But if you don't clear these doubts, then the confusion, of course, people waste time like anything that way. Right? Paco studied technique only until 21 years old. After that, he never practiced again technique. He just practiced improvisation. How to provide, how to do all the things, composition, etc. His own way, right? He was not a theory guy, but his own way he did. Why? Because he was determined. I said, I will face this from childhood to up to 21 years old, technique, and technique will not bother me anymore. I don't want to know about that anymore. So I will complete this thing. So this determined why? Because he was free from doubt. Unless you are free from doubt, you don't advance. This is process of learning. Who talks about this? I don't see people talking about this really in the guitar field, in the music field. So I think you can take a lot of value from it, and if it makes you play better, then this video will be successful.
Me ayudó porque descubrí ahí la improvisación. La improvisación es algo que yo pienso que cada músico del estilo que sea, del clásico, del flamenco, de cualquier otra música debería aprender, porque en la improvisación te da mucha libertad y a la vez te da mucho conocimiento de dónde estás tocando, de cómo estás tocando, de qué armonías están en cada momento, ¿no?
Muy bien. Pablo. Sí, Paco, ¿qué es para usted la música popular y qué es la música elitista?
Yo creo que la música elitista es el refinamiento de la música popular. Por ejemplo, el flamenco. El flamenco originalmente es una música popular, la música del pueblo de Andalucía. Pero creo que ya no le pertenece más al pueblo, porque de pronto habemos gente que nos hemos pasado toda una vida encerrados, puliendo esa expresión popular. Entonces ha llegado a un nivel en el que el pueblo ya no tiene esencia. sobre todo a los matices que vamos consiguiendo la gente como yo, que nos pasamos muchas horas elaborando esa música.